So, we are back with yet another exciting episode. Continuing on from yesterday. And we're still continuing to work with the microservices and some APIs. Still to see some APIs in action and how we end up working with them. But I'm sure that will come. For sure. Let's get things set up here. There we are. Okay, so using the env file. The env file is a hidden file that is used to pass environment variables to your application. The file is secret, no one but you can access it, and it can be used to store data that you want to keep private or hidden. For example, you can store API keys from external services or your database URI. You can also use it to store configuration options. By setting configuration options, you can change the behavior of your application without the need to rewrite some code. The environment variables are accessible from the app as process.env.var name. The process.env object is a global node object and variables are passed as strings. By convention, the variable names are all uppercase with words separated by an underscore. The .env is a shell file, so you don't need to wrap names or values in quotes. It is also important to note that there cannot be space around the equal sign when you are assigning values to your variables, e.g. var name equal to value. Usually you'll put each variable definition on a separate line. Let's add an environment variable as a configuration option. Store the variable message style equal to uppercase in the env file. Then tell the get.json root handler that you created in the last challenge to transform the responses object's message to uppercase if process.env.messageStyle equals uppercase. The response object should become message hello JSON. Okay, so it's kind of like modifying things, huh? Okay. Message style equal to uppercase. So then we can go to our server over here, or our my app rather. And we can have an if process.env.messageStyle equal to uppercase. Then we want to the easiest way to do this, because we can to uppercase obviously, but I want to change the JSON object. I wonder what's the best way to do this right now. Without rewriting the whole thing, I think just changing it. Do you know what we can do? Let's have so we have hello JSON, right? So that we can pass that in. Can we not pass that? Is that incorrect? Oops, what did I do? I meant to do this, my bad. Okay, so if we reload this, it was if we go to /JSON, we should get hello JSON, right? So then what I'm thinking is, since it's let, then if process.env.message is equal to uppercase, we can do JSON message equal to JSON message dot to uppercase, right? So we could just do that. So now if we reload it, do we have an error? Take you a bit of a while. Let's check our logs. I think we might have an error. Uh-oh. To uppercase is not a function? Oh, is it to uppercase? Yeah, there we go. So then it should be... Oh wait, it didn't change it though. I think it's because the if comes in and it changes it a bit too late. Yeah, that's why. So we're not going to be able to do it that way, damn. I was hoping we can do it that way. Without changing this, we have the JSON handler. Oh, you still need the JSON handler, don't you? Thing is, I don't know if we're supposed to be going back in our code and changing things. I assume everything is in order, so we go from one to the other and we don't actually go back in our code. Because I would have this checked beforehand, then it would be fine. But since it comes in later, we could just call app.get. Actually, can't we just do this? After that, we can call it again. Because then JSON handler will see the new JSON message, because we've changed it now. So that becomes... No. And it is to uppercase. Yeah, it is. And that is a string. JSON message is a string. And just doing plus equal to will just give me... Interesting, it never changed it. Why? JSON message equal to hello JSON, JSON object equal to message, the JSON message. JSON message equal to JSON message to uppercase, so we are changing it. and then app.get JSON, JSON handler. So why didn't that... It is uppercase, right, in our env? Message style, yeah. It is equal to uppercase. Create a little... JSON message. Can we log JSON message? It is capital. It is capitalized, that's for sure. App.get JSON, JSON handler, return JSON, JSON object. So then why isn't this capitalized? That's what's weird. Why you be weird like this? We are capitalizing it, that's for sure, because else it wouldn't be capitalized there. App.get JSON, JSON handler. Do I have to recreate the object? Is that what's going on right now? JSON object dot message equal to JSON message. Can we do that? We can. Will that change it? Oh, there we go. So that works. Can I just do JSON message to uppercase? So I just do it in one single line. So I can just do to uppercase like that. Comment that out, comment that out, comment that out. Will that still work? Yeah, that works as well, perfect. So then there we go. JSON object.message equal to JSON message to uppercase. And that only works because we add a variable, obviously. App.get JSON, JSON handler. Technically that can be a constant as well, can't it? It doesn't have to change. We're just to uppercasing it. And we should still be able to, because we're not mutating it. Perfect. So that should pass. Well, let me just give you the main website. The responsive JSON does not change according to message style. Okay. If you say so. If you say it doesn't change. I'm pretty sure it does. It's hello JSON now, all caps. A response object should become. Should we just have an else? Is that why? Else app.get JSON handler? Is that why? So if I change this to uppercase 2 and I reload, it's now hello JSON, yeah. Maybe I needed an else, maybe they were checking for that. Try again, please. Oh my god, are we gonna really have one of these issues now? Really? Let's add an environment variable as a configuration option. Store the, we've done that. And then tell the get JSON root handler that you created. Oh, the root handler, so we can't just go and do this. Oh. Now I get it. If, so we're gonna do it inside of here. Then we're gonna do that, JSON object.message equal to JSON message.to uppercase. We can just literally have an if, we don't need an else. If it's uppercase, we're just gonna uppercase the message and then we're still gonna just return rest.json JSON object. That should literally be all. So we're going back and changing things now apparently. I should have read that more carefully. Okay, how about now? You happy now? What? Tell the get JSON root handler that you created in the last challenge, okay? Which we did. To transform the response object's message to uppercase if process.env.message equals uppercase. Okay, but we've done that now on 2 accounts. This changed it, this also changes it. Pretty sure if it's something else. Yeah, it works. Really? Then tell the get JSON root handler. So we created the root handler here. To transform the response object's message to uppercase. Okay, we're filing a bug. I'm done with these things. I'm gonna start filing bug reports now when this stuff happens. But the last time I tried to do this, every time someone's already done it. Yeah, someone else has also done this, similar to me. Here, message is an empty string. Message to uppercase is an empty string. In the first one, is it? Oh, it is an empty string for them. But in our case, is it ever an empty string? JSON message equal to hello JSON. And then here we're doing JSON object dot message equal to JSON message to uppercase. What if we just did JSON message and change that to a let? JSON message equal to JSON message dot to uppercase. Does that still work as it should? Doesn't work now, but I think we changed our env. No, it's on uppercase now. What the hell? If process env message are equal to uppercase, JSON message equal to JSON message to uppercase. And that works, but obviously this fails. What's another way that we can do this to stop it from failing? Because it's going to return res.json, JSON object. Now here we've already set what JSON object is. Console.log, we log the JSON message first of all. It's hello JSON. It is, all caps. It's hello JSON, exactly what they want. But it fails. Yeah, someone else is getting the same issue as us. Okay, well I guess we're gonna open a new issue up since this one is closed. Let's create a new issue. Wait, the entire curriculum has been archived? Why? Is there a new one? Oh, there we go. This one probably. The title is going to be guess that's as clear as we're gonna get. And let's get the test that we initially had. That should have been perfectly fine. When we were just doing this. Because that does work, and if we change the env key to something else and load it, it doesn't. Perfect, so that should be perfectly fine. Yeah, that doesn't work. I want to double check something here just before I go on. Okay, so that works. We keeps the drill. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. What am I working on now? Some backend stuff. You still doing the free code camp? Yep. What are my thoughts? It's really great and it works. Some sections are frustrating, but I think this is by far being the only real one because of the lack of instructions and just cases where it should work but it doesn't. Because if I change things and I leave it just like this, it fails. Oh, now it passes? What? What? Every time when I want to create a new issue. I literally had this code. It was the exact same code that I've been using this entire time. And now it works? You're kidding me, right? Oh, now it doesn't work. Oh, now it doesn't work? Now it doesn't work? What is going on? I don't understand anymore. Now it doesn't work, but if I had the return inside of the message, then it works. Which doesn't make any sense. Why? It's still returning the object. I want to get some troubleshooting done before I try this. So it's still passing, but it's passing from the previous test, not from the current one, yeah. Could I build a website I want? Yeah, for sure. The skills that I've gained, very much so. Okay, so something is going funky here. Let's see why. If the env message style is uppercase, the JSON object.message is going to be JSON message to uppercase. And then we're returning the JSON object. Now if I log the JSON object here, JSON object, I might have to pass that, but let's just see what happens. We get hello J. It doesn't make any sense. So we get exactly what we need to get. Wow, okay. So definitely a bug. Well, that rapid. I just can't remember now. 3 lines. The test fails with following bit of code. Const JSON object equal to message. Wait, we're missing the. Wait, where'd my message go? There you go. How about now? JSON message, hello JSON. But if you add the return statement inside of the if statement, then the challenge passes. I've double checked the value I am expecting to return, and it is indeed the expected. Whoopsie, what happened there? Message, hello Jason. Okay, so let's see how this looks. The test fails with following bit of code. Oh, hold on, why is this not escaped? That's escaped. Why did it not terminate? It needs to be on a new line? There we go. Submit new issue. There we go. We've submitted an issue. We've done it. 36,445. Wow. Hopefully we did that right. Cool. So let's continue. Now that we know how to make it work, it's a bit dumb though, right? But we have to stick a return statement in here, which doesn't make any sense. Double return statements? Anyway, that's what passes the test, so, you know, not gonna argue with that. Implement a root level request logger middleware. Before we introduce the express.static middleware function, now it's time to see what middleware is in more detail. Middleware functions are functions that take three arguments: the request object, the response object, and the next function in the application's request response cycle. These functions execute some code that can have side effects on the app, and usually add informations to the request or response objects. They can also end the cycle sending the response when some condition is met. If they don't send the response when they are done, they start the execution of the next function in the stack. This is triggered calling the third argument, next. For more information in the Express documentation, look at the following example. Function request response next. Console.log, I'm a middleware. Next. Let's suppose we mounted this function on a root. When a request matches the root, it displays a string, I'm a middleware. Then it executes the next function in the stack. In this exercise we are going to build a root level middleware. As we have seen in challenge 4, to mount a middleware function at root level we use the method app.use middleware function. In this case the function will be executed for all the requests, but you can also set more specific conditions. For example, if you want a function to be executed only for post requests, you could use app.post middleware function. Analogous methods exist for all the HTTP verbs. Get, delete, put. Okay. Build a simple logger. For every request, it should log in the console a string taking the following format: method path, IP. An example would look like get, JSON. Note that there is a space between method and path, and that the dash separating path and IP is surrounded by a space on either side. You can get the request method HTTP verb, the relative root path, and the caller's IP from the request object using request method, request path, and request IP. Remember to call next when you're done, or your server will be stuck forever. Be sure to have the logs opened and see what happens when some request arrives. Hint: Express evaluates functions in order they appear in the code. This is true for middleware too. This is true for JavaScript even, jeez. If you want it to work for all the routes, it should be mounted before them. We keeps it real. What if you remove the outside return? Then you wouldn't be returning anything. Because we still need to return something whether the env message is true or not. It should have just worked like this, with the if statement changing things, but it's broken. So that's why we reported it. Okay, so you want me to build a logger. For every request, it should log in the console a string taking the following format: method, path, IP. You want me to create a function like this? Okay. We've done that. Number 7. Root level middleware, a logger, place it before all the routes. Okay. We need to use it before. I don't think that's app.get, so before app.use. But they want us to put it here. Mount the logger middleware here, so we're going to do it here. So we're going to do function. And we need to call it, don't we? Then we need to use app.use. You can get the request method, the relative root path, using request method, request path, and request IP, kind of how we did with so we need to do app.use, don't we? Logger. Don't we have to do that? App.use logger. Do I have to pass something into it? Oh, I did it now. I am a middleware. Why did it do it twice? Why is it doing it twice? I guess we can log console.log. Let's see what the request, oops, the request is. Oh wow. So that's the request. We can do request.method as well. Get. Interesting. And if I went to JSON, it would obviously also be a get. So we can get the IP. Huh. So we want it to be method path IP. This is what it needs to look like, okay? So request.method, request.path, then add a hyphen. We're actually gonna have to do a string literal. There needs to be a space. Request.path. We're not gonna have to worry about that now, and we will finish that off and put that in a... Okay, so we got request.method, request.path, request.ip. And then without logging I'm a middleware, because that's not the requirement. So if we now try to browse a page, we should get and then the path and the IP that logged it. That's pretty cool. Get style.css and the IP that logged it. That was pretty sweet. Huh. Look at that. I like this. I really do. Makes sense when you finally understand it. Okay, so was that the only requirements? It should log in the console a string taking the following format. I think we got it, huh? Looks like it's doing that. So let's see if they're happy with our solution. They are indeed. Chain middleware to create a time server. Isn't that one of the projects we have to create a time server? Middleware can be mounted at a specific route using app.method, path, middleware function. Middleware can also be chained inside route definition. Look at the following example. app.getUser function, request.user equal to getTheUser sync. Hypothetical synchronous operation. Next. Oh, so it's kind of like a callback, isn't it? Function request resource rest.send request.user. Huh. This approach is useful to split the server operations into smaller units. That leads to a better app structure and the possibility to reuse code in different places. This approach can also be used to perform some validation on the data. At each point of the middleware stack, you can block the execution of the current chain and pass control to functions specifically designed to handle errors, or you can pass control to the next matching route to handle special cases. We will see how in the Advanced Express section. In the route app.get, now, chain a middleware function and the final handler. In the middleware function, you should add the current time to the request object in the request.time key. You can use new date toString in the handler respond with a JSON object taking the structure time request.time. The test will not pass if you don't chain the middleware. If you mount the function somewhere else, the test will fail, even if the output result is correct. Good to know. So this is for which one? The next one? Oops, we're not working there anymore. Number 8. So we need a chain chaining middleware. I think I get what they want us to do. App.get, they said now, right? So app.get now. What's wrong with this? What's your issue? All right. Wait, let's see what happens if we console.log. Does request.time already exist? Whoops, I meant to do request. So if we go to now, we go to now. Cannot read. Cannot read property toString of undefined. Oh, does that not exist? Does request.time not exist? Is that why? Oh, it doesn't have time. We should add time. I guess that's why. So this will be request.time equal to new date toString. Then we should be able to do request.time, right? Essentially. There you go. That looks about right. Is that what they want us to do though? In the middleware function you should add the current time to the request object in the request.time key. It would have been nice if they told you that key doesn't exist, you're creating that key. Is that too much handholding? You should add the current time to the request object in the request.time key. That doesn't exist, we had to create it, so we went request.time equal to new date toString. Taking the structured time, request.time. Which the structure doesn't matter. See, that's what's even more confusing, because you create a key by just literally going object.key, and if it doesn't exist, it will just store it in that key, you know what I mean? So that was a little bit confusing there, but I think we got it. So now we don't need this, and we should hopefully pass, because it's doing what it should be doing. Apparently not, it's not found. Why? In the root, app.get now, chain a middleware function, and the final handler. In the middleware function, you should add the current time to the request object in the request.time key. You can use new date toString in the handler. In the handler, respond with a JSON object. In the handler. We did that, didn't we? Request.time equal to. So if I do request.ip and I load this, we get the IP as a string. So why is that not working? I'm confused. Function, request, response, rest.send, request.time. So clearly it does exist. Why? The test will not pass if you don't chain the middleware. Am I not chaining it? If you mount the function somewhere else, the test will fail, even if the output result is correct. We didn't though, right? Was I supposed to put it somewhere else? In the root app.get. Now, we don't have an app.get now, do we? The first time. App.get now, we just created it. Chain a middleware function. That's chaining. The now endpoint should have mounted middleware. The now endpoint should return a time that is plus minus 20 seconds from now. What does it return? Isn't that a time? Wait, so they don't want a date, they want time? Is that the issue? Man. I mean, we can use get time. Can't we? We can use get time to string. That will give us the time in milliseconds. Do they like that? No? Okay, that's good, because I would have been like really pissed if that worked. It seems complicated, but it's just JavaScript. What? I love that response. Request.string equal to example next. But that's what we did, is it not? Is that literally not what we did? App.get now. Right. We did that, right? And then the function. And then chained it by calling function request response rest.send request.time. Is that not chaining it? Is it because I didn't call it middleware? Do I have to call it middleware? That would be so funny. I doubt it, but also middleware doesn't exist, does it? You have to basically do function middleware. But even then, not found. What are you looking for? At least if you could tell me what you're looking for. Okay, but this should have worked. This is chaining them for sure. App.getNow will call this function. Do I have to like have it loaded before everything else? Is that why? Is that why? Nope. Okay, we're going to the GitHub again, and we're going to be creating a new bug report, depending on what we find there. Someone bothered with the spelling, okay. We have more important issues like, you know, the test not passing when it should. Oh, is that why? You have to respond in JSON format? Where did it say you have to respond in JSON format? Oh my god, it does. It does. Oh. Thought you just had to return it because prior to that we were dealing with a string. You should add the current time to the request object and request the time. You can use new data. In the handler, respond with the JSON object. Time, request.time. Okay, so we're gonna respond with the JSON object time, request.time. That's a JSON object for you. How about now? Because it's an API, that would make sense, right? You just go to now, and you get the time. Huh. Still not found? Okay. Really? Really? In the handler, respond with the JSON object. Okay, what are we doing wrong? Res.send time. They did say it should be time, right? Time, request.time. And we are getting a JSON object, time and the time. Let's go back to what we just closed. They're adding time in the next one? Res.oh. So you can't, oh. So you have to do res.json instead of res.send. Because send, if I remember correctly, send does it differently. Send will display it. So res.json, well, it does pretty much the same thing, but now it like handles it in a JSON format. Then we have to give it a JSON object. Okay. I love how everything we try doesn't work. Each time we're like, oh, okay, rest.json. Yeah, that makes sense because we used rest.json here before. To create the JSON object, we did. Oh, but it needs to be in a JSON proper format. So we need to do time and request.time. That would be one thing. I wish the errors were a bit more helpful. Wait, did that change when I had it from this to this? Could have sworn it changed. Anyway, no, that didn't work for us. So time request.time, but this other person is also doing the calculations in the second function instead of the first, because we're storing it as an object in request. So I guess we can move this down. So we won't be needing this, but we can pass on next. Function time equal to new date to string time and time. And confirm that still works for us. It does. Does it work for the compiler? Still doesn't work. App.get, it is app.get. And they've used app.get now. Function request response next. Next. Function request response. Time equal to new date to string. Same as this. And res.json, pass in time and the time. So why are we failing? I like how when we run it, we can see what is trying to run it. So it is running get now. Why is it checking that path? Do we have something there? I don't think we do. So why is it trying to access that page? Is that the reason why it's failing? Well, there's one way to figure it out, if that's the reason it's failing. Put that into the put that in there. I laugh if this passes now. Oh my god, it actually works when you do that. It actually does that. What? What just happened? I'm so confused. Yeah, that's exactly what we did. That's literally what we did. Request a time new date, and then we returned request dot time, which is the way I want to do it. Store it as an object to the request. Imagine it passes now. Oh, now the endpoint return. No, the endpoint returns a time, but oh my god. What is going on? What is going on? And now? And now neither of them pass. Oh my god, this is crazy. So if I have the super long one, that path, it's almost like it's trying to get a path that doesn't exist. I like how this person says my code's working perfectly. It's not working. Not in the server.js? Who's been working in the server.js? Who the hell would work in there? Put this code in my app.js. Yeah, that's where you should be working. Okay, let's copy this exactly as is and run it. Nope, doesn't work. Good to know. So the code that exactly worked for them doesn't work. Really? They made it so that it has to be close to the time specified? That's what it's checking? I doubt that. I honestly doubt that. But imagine that is the case, because that... I'm not GMT 0. So why is it showing that? So what you're saying is I need to set my time 2 hours back to pass this test. Are you serious? Okay, I mean, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Nope. That didn't work for us. And I had to mess with my time as well. That would just be stupid if you had to do that. I think people are just guessing at this point. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Maybe someone found a solution. Date to UTC strings. Okay, I mean, I'm willing to try anything. Do I not need a new in there? New? Nope. And that was never the issue, was it? Because we're always passing the first one, so long as we put that... What do we do? Now root has no mounted middleware. And if this is their example, and this is what we've done, and the best part is if I don't specifically put that in, we don't even pass anything. At least in one way we're passing one of the tests. When I do it this way, the now endpoint. But the thing is, when it's testing that. Are we going to create a log? Is trying to access and when I use that as the path, I actually end up passing the requirement. Hold on, before we do anything crazy, aren't we supposed to return res.json? Because we're just setting res.json, we're not returning out of that. And before we would return, imagine that's the issue. I'd be really happy. Nope. Ugh. Because that's how you chain it, right? Maybe it wants it as a different function. Let's do function time handler. Which will take in request, response, next, right? And then we put request.time and next in there. And then we chain this on as it wants. What does that belong to? Can I not do that? Does this have to be in brackets like that? No? No. Submit new issue. Man, I'm so tired of these finicky tests not working. You know what I just realized now? Why do we have now in here? Oh my god. Is the store trying to access that endpoint though? Let's find out if we try to test it. No, now it accesses now. Okay, so for once it actually works. It's just the URL. We messed up the URL. Okay, we can delete this one now, right? I'm closing this issue as the there we go. Close and comment. Get root parameter input from the client. When building an API, we have to allow users to communicate to us what they want to get from our services. For example, if the client is requesting information about a user stored in the database, they need a way to let us know which user they're interested in. One possible way to achieve this result is by using root parameters. Root parameters are named segments of the URL, delimited by slashes. Each segment captures the value of the part of the URL which matches its position. The captured values can be found in the request.params object. Root path, user, user ID, book, book ID. Actual request, URL, user 546, book 6754. Request.params user ID 546, book ID 6754. Build an echo server mounted at the root. Get word echo. Respond with a JSON object taking the structure echo word. You can find the word to be repeated at request.params.word. You can test your root from your browser's address bar visiting some matching roots, e.g. your app, root path free code camp echo. I like how the two requirements are, your echo server should repeat words correctly, and the second one, your echo server should repeat words correctly. Get word echo. When they say server, they're just referring to these app.get. What is app? Did I name it? App is express. Oh. So app.get word echo. So can we do word echo? What is word? I guess we're gonna find out. And we're gonna call this one word handler. What are you complaining about? Oh, it's gonna be defined now. Request, response. And we need to return a JSON object. So with the JSON, taking the structure echo word. So you want word to be request.params.word, is that what you're saying? Can we first console.log request.params.word so I can see what's actually going on? What if this is a word? Echo. Oh, it says word. So if I say potato, it says potato. Oh, so just repeating what I'm saying. Why does it seem to like load forever? What if I just go to echo? Echo is not found, right? But if I go to anything, or like ant echo, what if I go ant Bob echo? Does that not? Okay, interesting. So it has to be a word. So if I wanted multiple things, would I then put in word echo for like multiple? So that would work. Bob, but it only repeats. Oh, so if I wanted word 2, whoopsie. Is that how it works? Those are essentially variables. We got Bob. And if I wanted word, we would get ant, right? Yeah, okay, cool. We get it now. So I think we're good. So now we just need to return res.json. It was echo, if I'm not mistaken. Echo. I mean, unexpected token. Oh, because I didn't. What happened to my brackets? Thank you. Are we happy now? That's gonna respond to nothing because we don't have double. There we go, we got and. Yes! That's cool. App.get word echo word handler. So, what do you think about us now? Are we good? Sweet! We did that. It's interesting that they refer to all of these as servers. Create a new server. They're not really servers, are they? They're just a page that listens. Get query parameter input from the client. Another common way to get input from the client is by encoding the data after the root path, using a query string. The query string is delimited by a question mark and includes field equal to value couples. Each couple is separated by an ampersand. Express can pass the data from the query string and populate the object request.query. Some characters cannot be in URLs, they have to be encoded in a different format. Percent encoding? Oh right, yeah, which you've seen many times before. %20 for a space, I'll never forget that. Good old HTML days. Where's %20? There it is. Can never forget that. Okay, so some characters cannot be in URLs, they have to be encoded in a different format before you can send them. If you use the API from JavaScript, you can use specific methods to encode, decode these characters. Root path library, actual request URL, library, user ID, and book ID. Request a query, user ID, book ID. Okay. Build an API endpoint mounted at get name, respond with a JSON object, JSON document taking the structure name, first name, last name. The first and last name parameter should be encoded in a query string, e.g. first equal to first name and last equal to last name. Tip: in the following exercise we are going to receive data from a post request at the same name root path. If you want, you can use the method app.rootPath.getHandler.postHandler. This syntax allows you to chain different verb handlers on the same path route. You can save a bit of typing and have cleaner code. Can we use the same handler though? Is something gonna post? Okay, so we are gonna use app.root, and it was library, right? No, it was name. .get handler .post handler. So we're gonna have everything. We're gonna be posting too. from a post request. Respond with a JSON object. I'm just going to do function name handler request response return rest.json, and you want me to respond with name, first name, last name. Name. Is that going to be a variable? Or do you actually just literally want me to respond with first name, last name? Probably, I don't know. And then get name handler post name handler. Okay, what now? What happens if we go to name? I don't know. Don't know what happens if we go to name. We get first name, last name. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I really don't think it's supposed to be like that. I think it has to be something like request.params.first as well as request.params.last, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. We get null. But if we do name, let's try this out. First equal to Bob, last equal to Rouse. What now? We get null. We're missing something, aren't we? Should be encoded in a query string. But you haven't taught us about that, so... Populate the object request.query. So does it do it already? Let's find out. Console.log request.query. Let's see what it does. Maybe it does do it. Oh, it did. First Bob, last Ross. But why is it like... Why is it doing... Is it because I put the quotes in and it's escaping them? So if I just do without anything, just Bob Ross. Bob Ross, there you go. So how do I get them? That's request.query. Can I just give request.query? No, I can't. It needs to be name, first name, last name. They have to be encoded. So how do we encode? There was a way to encode. Isn't it encode URI? Pretty sure it's encode URI. But how do we just get the values? Because now we're getting an object, first and last. Do I have to literally just do first? No, there must be another way. So if I do request.query.first, will that just give me Bob? It does! Okay, so we're not doing params, we're doing request.query.first, but then you also want to wrap this in a encode URI, and I'll show you why we want to do that. Because Bob undefined, love it. Because if I had this as a, let's say something invalid like an @ hold on, let's change that. So if I had it as an @ there's a reason why you don't want that. Wait, why was... Because if you had a space in it or something? And then you can't process it. All I know is that you want to wrap that in encode URI, not euro, and wrap that like so. What's the issue now? Unexpected token, what do you mean? Oh, we've got to close this. There you go. So there we go. Now we get the %20, which is great to get the actual like characters and whatever. Return rest.json name. So that should have been exactly what they wanted. If I have a space. Now if I just put in Bob Ross, we get Bob Ross. And if you add spaces or whatever and twos and whatever, which would break things, we encoded them. We worked on that before, so that's pretty exciting. So we have an endpoint. How cool is that? Name first and last, and then we can actually do something with that. Does not behave as expected. I'm sorry that it's not behaving. What did we do wrong? Return rest.json name. How's it supposed to behave? You wanted it to say name, didn't you? Name with first name, last name. Oh, do you want the actual quotes around them? Do you want them to like literally be in quotes? Is that what you want? Is that what you're saying? You want me... I doubt it's that though. I honestly doubt it's that. But we'll see. They've done weirder things before, haven't they? There. What's the issue now? Why is that unexpected? Hold on. This? Okay, I see what the issue is. These two things need to be in. And we did escape that, didn't we? We opened and closed it. We open and... Okay, we need to close that there. Remove one of these extras. There we go. And now we return. I think that just looks weird. I don't think that's what they want. I'm pretty sure that's not what they want. Good, it's not what they want. I'm glad, because that would just be silly. Okay, so let's undo that and try to figure out what the issue is. Okay, instead of doing it like they did, like mounting things, what if we just did app.get the name followed by a comma, name handler. This is how we've been doing it this whole time. Let's just see what happens if we do that, because that's how we have been doing it this whole time. You know what I just realized? There's no space in ours, and theirs they do have a space between the first and the last. So I think what they're expecting for us to do is to create a space. So I'm actually gonna turn this into a string literal, but let's not mess this up this time. And then this is going to be the first one, and then there's going to be a space here. Now it's a string literal, so I don't have to worry, it's a literal space. And then we wrap that up, and then that's good, and then that closes that, and we're good for business. Except apparently there's an issue now. Why is there an issue? You got closed, so why are you complaining? And then the string literal got closed, and then the object got closed, and then the bracket got closed. So what are you complaining about? Why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Cannot read property get of undefined. What? I don't understand. It is a string literal, right? Did open and close the object. We did open and close the object here. Why are you complaining now? Cannot read property get of undefined. Are you complaining because this is a string literal? I'm so confused. Huh. Now you don't complain. Wait, are you still complaining right now? You're still complaining? There's still an issue here? What the shit? Cannot read property get. Okay, so now, oh my god. So now this is a completely different issue. It's app.root, that's why. This was fine all along. This was fine. There was nothing wrong with this. This needed to be app.root, because we changed it. There we go. Ah. Okay, how about now? Yay! It was just the space that was an issue. We should probably save this. we're not going to be working, we haven't been working package.json and all that, so I'm going to save this in our VS Code section, because you know, that's important and stuff. What part of the curriculum was that again? The APIs and microservices. Basic Node and Express. Basic Node and Express. We're going to save this as myapp.js. And then let's please save this. Why is it double spaces everywhere? What are you complaining about? Oh, the line breaks. There you go. Everything's good. Cool. It's posted. Now we need to use body parser to parse post requests. Besides get, there's another common HTTP verb. It is post. Post is the default method used to send client data with HTML forms. In the REST convention, post is used to send data to create new items in the database. A new user or a new blog post. We don't have a database in this project, but we are going to learn how to handle post requests anyway. In these kinds of requests, the data doesn't appear in the URL. It is hidden in the request body. This is part of the HTML request, also called payload. Since HTML is text-based, even if you don't see the data, it doesn't mean that they are secret. The raw content of an HTTP post request is shown below. As you can see, the body is encoded like the query string. This is the default format used by HTML forms. With Ajax, we can also use JSON to be able to handle data having a more complex structure. There's also another type of encoding, multi-part form data. This one is used to upload binary files. In this exercise, we'll use a URL encoded body. To parse the data coming from post requests, you have to install a package, the body parser. This package allows you to use a series of middleware which can decode data in different formats. See the docs here. Install the body parser module in your package.json, then require it at the top of the file. Store it in a variable named body parser. Right. Hello. Just in time. That's a good debugger. How's your streaming going? I'm here to attend the class. Sure. We got some endpoints on us now. Look, we can go to time. Wait, now? And it gives us the time. And we can like make it repeat words by doing like word. And then Or like this, aya, and then go to echo. Not found. God, I've already forgotten. Wait, is it aya like that? Ah, it is. Oh wait, no, is it any word? I forgot. It's anything that doesn't exist. Yeah, like aya. Aya is amazing. I know, it just like copy whatever you put in the URL. And like, you have stuff in the endpoint. So what was it? It was name. I think it was name. So first equal to aya. Wait, it was. Oh yeah. First equal to aya, and last equal to aya, the destroyer. Wait, what? Oh, right, lowercase l. Isn't that cool? We're learning requests and headers. It's quite cool. So you can like literally put that into the URL and it processes it, and we get a response so we can do something with it. Pretty cool. They're like teaching us all this stuff. And now we have to go install, what was it? Body parser? Body parser. It's a module. But it didn't specify what version, so okay. Let's go. Package, dependencies. There already is body parser. They're trying to trick us. What the fuck? Then require it at the top of your file. Store it in a variable named body parser. Right, I will do that. Let's go. Const body parser equal to require body parser. Just like that. How about that? You happy now? There we are. And then, once we've done that, the middleware to handle URL encoded data is returned by bodyparser.url encoded extended false. Extended false is a configuration option that tells the parser to use the classic encoding. When using it, values can be only strings or arrays. The extended version allows more data flexibility, but it is outmatched by JSON. Pass to app.use the function returned by the previous method call. What previous method call? What? You mean the name handler? So confused. Pass to app.use. When did we use app.use last? The last time we used app.use. Oh, it's here. Oh. Okay, I got it. So app.use, the function returned by the previous method call. As usual, the middleware must be mounted before the root switch needed. Oh, oh, you suck at explaining things. Okay. So that's, they explained that. Then they taught us to install that, which we've done. The middleware to handle URL encoded data is returned. Returned. Oh, okay. Body parser.url encoded extended false. Extended is configuration that tells the parser to use a classic encoding when using it values. Okay. Okay. Pass to app.use the function returned by the previous method call. You mean this? Extended false? As usual, the middleware must be mounted before all the routes which need it. Okay. Get ready for post request the body parser. Place it before all the routes. Okay, number 11. You want me to do it here. Mount the body parser middleware here. I have no fucking idea what you want me to do, but All I know is that app.use needs to go here and we need to call my function. Sure, but I don't even know what they want me to do. Do you want me to just do body parser.url encoded extended false? Is that what you want me to do? Do you want me to just do that? You happy? Is that okay? Can we do that? Let's find out. Can it just be something simple for once? Oh my god, it's something simple for once. Can you believe it? No ways. It actually worked. Wow. So why couldn't they just say, this is how you do something, this is what it does, now do the same thing in your application? Why do they explain it and then pass to app.use the function returned by the previous, like, what? Why say that? It's not a function that's returned. Just put this thing in. It makes no sense. But we got it. I don't even know if we got it. It just said we passed it. Maybe we didn't. Maybe it's just, you know, an error in the way they checked us, but we did it. So we'll find out in the next bit, won't we? Get data from post requests. Mount a post handler at the path name. Don't we already have a name? Yeah, we do. It's the same path as before. We have prepared a form in the HTML front page. Yep, I remember that. It will submit the same data of exercise 10 query string. If the body parser is configured correctly, you should find the parameters in the object request.body. Have a look at the usual library example, right? Respond with the same JSON object as before, name, first name, last name. Test if your endpoint works using the HTML form we provided in the app front page. Okay. Oh, so post name handler. Right now it's going to be a request.query. Wait, so if I submit... Oh. Because it's not a query. Oh, check this, check this. I think we can do console.log request. Is it request.type? I can't remember. Is it request.type? Is type valid? No. It's not request.type, it's request.something. How do I get... Wait, let's get the entire request and then figure it out. It's not a URL. Method. It was the method, right? I think it was method. Request.method. So now if we load it, we'll know... Wait, let's go back to here. So if I click submit, it will be post. Perfect. So now we can do... Let's do const method equal to request.method. Not method, method. So now we get what the method is. Then we can do if method is equal to post. Then we're gonna have this line, copy this line, paste this line. We're gonna have res.json name. We don't need to worry about the encode URI now, because apparently it should automatically be handled. I hope it does. So we just do request.body, because that's what they said. We can use, where was it? They said request.body. So request.body. How do we know what the first one and the second one is though? How do we know what the ID is? Do we just assume it's first? Yeah, name first, name last. So then we should be able to do request.body.first and request.body.last. And actually, this should have remained. Otherwise, we're going to send a string. There we go. If method is post, return rest.json, name request.body.first, request.body.last, and then we're gonna have an else here. Else return this fancy stuff. And let's not worry about the console log. And then let's stick this in here and format it nicely. Great stuff. And bring it back in here. Okay, so now if we reload this and we hit submit, we get undefined, undefined. Okay, let us log request.body. I want to know what request.body is. Also, why is this like this? Submit. Invalid arguments passed. What? Invalid arguments? Sorry, that was supposed to be request.method. I don't know why that messed up so badly. Submit. Is this you making a website? No, this is me making an API for backend stuff. So this would be the backend equivalent of, this is the form, you click submit, and then it needs to store that data somewhere. We've done websites before. Backup? I mean, it's like a form, like a login form or like a contact form. We're making that. Yeah. Let's see, what have I made before? I made a Pomodoro clock. I like it, it's my favorite. It's a cute little one. You can click it and get inspiration. Don't give up, you've got this. You can like set the time and start. And if you stop the time, you get sad. Yeah, there was that. We haven't done anything too crazy. And you've obviously seen the calculator that I did. And I made a post. Oh right, I did the Angry Gamer Studio thingies. This was kind of like a mock page I did back when I didn't know anything. Surprisingly, it came out okay. There's a few things I'll probably change now, but I mean, it works. Angry Gamer, yeah. You would be like the cover, the poster child for it. I'm surprised I got the links to work. I forgot about that. Angry Gamer Studios. And it's responsive, do you see that? So like everything just reacts accordingly. I actually put a lot of effort into this one. So it looks great on mobile. I think if we go to the mobile view, then it like actually scales. for one of my first websites, so it was pretty okay. And then I had to create a portfolio. Oh, that was awful. But I mean, I think it came out okay. I can't even remember. Oh, I had some like typing and stuff. It's very basic. And I had like no content. It's so bad. Oh my god. And it's like it's got links to my projects. So I did a tribute page and the survey form. That was the tribute page for Chester Bennington. Linkin Park! And the survey form. I was pretty chuffed with that one. Like considering I had to like design it from scratch. But there's probably a few things I'll change now. Like make it more user friendly. Please enter an email address. D@D. So yeah. Those are the things that we've done. And the swirly icons, I remember that. Oh yeah, and then mousing over it, that was... Man, there's so much old change now. But I mean, that's good, it shows you how much you learn and grow. What do you mean by typing? I mean this. When it starts up, there's an animation here, so the words are like typing. See that? And it like fades in. Yeah, small little touch. But it lacks content, and this is so bad. It's like a nice image, but just, it's awful. So bad. The projects one at least looks okay, because you know you got content on it. And it's like nicely boxed. But yeah, onwards. What do I need to do now? Post, sometimes put, create a new resource using information in get, read an existing resource without modifying it, put or patch, sometimes post, what? Update a resource using the data set, delete a resource. There are also a couple other methods which are used to negotiate a connection with the server, except from get, all other methods listed above can have a payload, i.e. the data in the request body. The body parser middleware works with these methods as well. You should make a game. Yeah, that's a plan. One day, it'll be fun. Honestly, I think you like a walking brain. Aww. I'm a walking brain. This brain is exhausted right now. The past 2 days, my eyes are just like they're so heavy. Reminds me of this song.
I don't like my mind right now. Stacking up problems that are so unnecessary. Wish that I could slow
How about that?
things down. I wanna let go, but there's comfort in the panic. And I drive myself crazy, thinking everything's about me. Yeah, I drive myself crazy, cause I can't escape the gravity. Holding on. Why is everything so heavy? Holding on to so much more than I can carry. I keep dragging around what's bringing me down. If I just let go, I'd be set free. Holding on. Why is everything so heavy? You say that I'm paranoid, but I'm pretty sure the world is out to get me. It's not like I made the choice to let my mind stay so fucking messy. I know I'm not the center of the universe. You keep spinning around me just the same. I know I'm not the center of the universe, but you keep spinning around me just the same. I'm holding on.
I love this music. I like your music taste. Aww. It's a pretty good song. I missed the old Linkin Park, but you know, the change. It's beautiful though, with Kiara. We just do like a bunch of Linkin Park songs. Some really beautiful songs here. Since we had a Chester dedication, then we should like be playing the song, shouldn't we? Just
There's no such thing as a perfect.
nope, 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 nope. No, thank you. I'm good. These ads can't escape them.
Should have stayed. Were the signs I ignored? Can I help you not to hurt anymore? We saw brilliance when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can't keep. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair. Just 'cause you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? I do. I do.
Manchester is absolutely incredible. I can't imagine a world without his music. Like the amount that has gotten me through. Absolutely amazing. We know how to do this. If the body parser is configured correctly, it's big if. Because we should have had rec.body.first. I think just the issue is how we configured it. I think the issue here, we weren't supposed to set it up like this, I think. Body parser equal to require. Weren't we supposed to use app.use? We did use app.use. Body parser. Oh, that's why we set it up, that URL encoded. So we did set that up. So we should have got request.body then, because when we post, we call name handler, and in name handler, we do if method equal to post. Oh, that's probably why I'm not getting it. In here we should be able to do console.log body request, and then we should be able to do request.body. Let's try that out. Let's clear the logs. Go to there. Cool. Let's hit submit. So we got the post, but interesting enough, it didn't get into that. It just like times out. So name handler method equal to request.method. If method equal to post, we should be logging it, but we're not. Very interesting. And that's only if we go to name. So / name. But why is none of this working now? If I go to name, it doesn't even load anymore. Why? Alright, this. There you go. Alright, cool, we're getting somewhere now. You're welcome, I Okay, let's see what method we're dealing with as well, while we're at it. So click the button, and the method was post. Okay. So it is oh, because we're not doing post, like all caps, it's not lowercase. That would probably explain it, wouldn't it? There we go! Body request. First John, last Doe. There we go. We got it. We did it. Woohoo! So we don't need this. We don't need that. So now we return name, request body first, request body last. And then it worked. John Doe. Could put in Aya, the destroyer, and hit submit, and we get it. That is so cool. And it's not in the URL, so we got two examples, one in the URL and two in the body. Otherwise, it's that as per usual. Sweet! Let's go and clear this up. Oh, I see what we're doing. We're using the array destructuring. That makes sense. Still works. Good job. Okay, so let's pass this on to our little thing to check the solution. And there we go. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Databases. We finally got to this section. MongoDB and Mongoose. So we did npm, we've done Node and Express. So next up is gonna be MongoDB and Mongoose. And then before that, we have the projects. But I feel this is something that I should do on like a fresh mind, because I don't want to like lag behind and just like barely make it. comment this, add it to the top. So this is how you would set up a basic app. Huh. We actually managed to do that. Alright, well I think I'm gonna end things off here for now, so that I can actually focus on this tomorrow and give it my all. Because this is something I definitely do not want to be skipping out on. We know how to do npm, we know how to do the installations, we now know how to handle node and the various routes and how to configure routes. And then after figuring out how databases work, hopefully we're gonna store access them and like use node and express to work on the projects, because they're very important to take the parts and bring them together. The timestamp will be interesting. All of these will be interesting, so I can't wait. I feel that we can fully get this done by tomorrow. I don't think it's that much to do. We'll have to see though, obviously. And then we can probably start with one of the projects tomorrow. And then yeah, see how that goes. Then again, it is Friday and I have my Freakout Friday in the evening, so hopefully I get an early enough start. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, until then, bye for now.